As I always say before, Mondays are always the most boring day starting the week. But however, I intend to keep your Mondays fun and exciting. However, if you guys are big fans of the Joshi Wrestling scene, you're in luck as always. You're in the right channel. So we're going to be doing 4 reviews from 3 different promotions. The first 2 are from the same day from 2 different venues, from Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling with Go Girl 5, and of course the night before the Grand Princess 2025. This all took place back, of course, early of the month on March 1st. And then we move on with MARIGOLD starting their latest tour with the Spring Victory Series. So this one is a very interesting tour, so can't wait to do more of it. But finally, we have, of course, Stardom with their latest Korakuen Hall, Nighter and Korakuen Hall, featuring, of course, 2 title matches. The high speed belt is defended, and so is the artist belts. But however, the anticipation of the loser must leave Stardom. Tam Nakano puts her career on the line against Sayakami Tani, who also puts her career on the line. The real question is, who is going to be the one to leave Stardom? That's going to be a very, very big question, and I think a lot of people are holding their breath on this one. And then, of course, we cap up our episode with some news updates to give you guys updates on what's been happening in the world of pro wrestling, such as what events the promotions are throwing out, who's booked, what matches are set, including developments that are happening in the world of pro wrestling as we speak. So, let's get ready for another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Hey everyone, welcome to Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J-Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel where we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK. Anywhere in the world pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also, of course, do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also, of course, do more news updates. If certain information was unable to be on this episode, we can either put it on the next one or on a separate video by itself. We also, of course, do real-timing news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of pro wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also, of course, got the Unagi Sayaka Watch and various other cool wrestling content as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us or click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content as well. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or a nice comment in the description down below. Now, all introductions have been said. I believe it's time to fly like an eagle. So, let's begin, of course, with Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling with Go Girl 5. Alrighty then, so let's begin with Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling with Girl 5. Now, this event happened on March 1st in, I believe, in Tokyo, Kitsunawa, Kitazawa Town Hall. And this was a show only for female attendees. So basically, the ladies come in for this one. So it's kind of interesting they do a show for the women, which is pretty cool. So I don't know how that works, but it's very interesting. Now, we did have, of course, as always, Sayuri Namba opening the show. For all of you, I want to give you guys the info. I will be putting on our news update later on this episode about Sayuri Namba. I don't know if you heard it yet, but I'll get to that. But however, as always with Sayuri Namba, greeting the fans, giving the infos on the matches of the day, the whole 9 yards. And then of course we had the Up girls doing their usual thing, doing the little performance. Now, let's get started with our very first match. Our first match, we have Kira Summer taking on Yuki Aino. Now, of course, I would think in the back of my head that Yuki Aino will definitely win due to the fact that she has proven herself her worth. I'm sure one day she will become the Princess of Princess Champion. That's something that I still do believe. Kira Summer, well, she's a real fun girl and all that, not gonna lie. But however, she still has a long way to go. But it was Yuki Aino who walked away with the win when she applied the Venus DDT. So just like that, 1, 2, 3, she's done and win. So we'll move on to the next match. Our next match, we have 6-woman tag team match. Team number 1, we have Iwamari, Kaya Toribami, and Yoshiko Hasegawa taking on Chika Nanaze, Chika Nanaze, Haruna Neko, and Mahito Kiru. Now, of course, as always, Kiru is a bit of an apologetic person, but however, I can tell you that this match ended with Yoshiko applying a stretch muffler onto Nanane, and she was forced to tap out. And just like that, it was over. Our next match, we have tag team action. We have Arisu Endo teaming up with Moka Miyamoto, taking on Ura Takami and Miyu Watanabe. Now, of course, it's no secret that we can see Miyu Watanabe win because she is one of the top stars in the promotion. But however, it was in fact Miyamoto with the Rashomon onto Takumi. It was kind of like the Cobra Clutch. And just like that, of course, Takumi had no other choice just to tap out. And just like that, Miyamoto, Moka, and Arisu actually won the match. Our next match, we have another 6-woman tag match. We have Ivy Steele, Raku, and Rika Tatsumi taking on Mifu Ashida, Wakana Uhara, and Yuki Kamifuku. Now, of course, nothing too special about this match, but however, it was in fact, what's her name? Rika Tatsumi, who picked up the win when she applied the Twist of Fate onto Ashida, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Next match, we have Shino Suzuki and Pam Harajuku taking on the number 1 contenders for the Princess Tag Team belts, Hyper Misao and Shoko Nakajima. Now, of course, we all know when it comes to Hyper Misao, she's the resident superhero, but however, she's not just a superhero. She is a superhero who plays a little dirty. But she did that. Apparently, they used a roll of tape that tied up both Shina, Suzuki and Palm, the hope they win in a count out. But luckily, they were able to make it back despite their tied up back to back. And of course, Hyper Misao and Nakajima were like, okay, not shop. They made it through despite the fact they were tied up. But however, it was Nakajima who in fact picked up the win when she applied the Northern Lights suplex onto Suzuki, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it's over. So Nakajima and Hyper Misao picked up the win. Now our next match, we have Haru Kazushiro versus, of course, the Pink Striker, Miyu Yamashita. Now, of course, many of you may think in some capacity that Miyu Yamashita's picked up the win if you're big fans. I mean, yes, we'd like to pull for the rookies, but however, I have to say, Kazushiro, she really, really stepped up her game, knowing that she's facing a top hitter with the promotion. Unfortunately, she got that little taste of it with the skull kick, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it is over. Now, our main event, we have Maki Ito teaming up with Toga, taking on Zuzumi, our current International Princess Champion, and Mizuki. So basically, you can see that. So we got 2 champions in one team. However, nothing too special about this match, but however, we know that both Mizuki and Suzumu have big matches coming up in Grand Princess, but nothing too special. But however, in this match, it was Mizuki who picked up the win with the cutie special onto Toga, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. So we are done with that. So we are done with this show with Tokyo Show Pro Wrestling. Let's do the other one, the night before Grand Princess. Okay, we continue with more with Tokyo Yoshi Pro Wrestling. This time we're doing the night before Grand Princess. Also took place on the 1st of March and in the same venue, the Kitazawa Town Hall in Tokyo. Now, of course, we had, as always, Sayuri Namba doing the opening of the show. And then, of course, we had the Up Girls do their usual performance. They were playing, of course, Up Kicker. Now, I want to pause here for a second because I kind of alluded something. Many of you may question, of course, AJ Rod, if these two shows happened in the same day, which one went first? Well, the Go Girl 5 was the first one. That one started exactly around noon, Tokyo time. So basically, it was the first show. This one that we're now reviewing started at 5:30 p.m. So that gave enough time for the wrestlers to wrestle. So I'm doing in the order how it started. That way there'll be no confusion from anybody in case anybody asks. I'm a bit punctual when it comes to things like that. So anyway, let's start with our first match. Our first match, we have Ura Takami versus Pam Marajuku. Now, there was a good moment in this match. Those who know Pam, she always does this scream where like, ah, and the ref has to go like shut up, or she just go like that and then tosses her voice. Well, there was a bit of a scream match between both Takami and Pam. Well, I don't think either of them won the scream match, but Pam Harajuku did pick up the win when she applied the Palm to Justice, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, she wins the match. Next up, we have tag team action. We have Kira Summer teaming up with Chika Nanaze, taking on Wakana Uehara and Yuki Kamifuku. Now, of course, some things you may question how this was going to play out. Well, this match ended in a submission move by Kamifuku with this thing called the Fujisawa Koroshi, which is a submission onto Nanaze, and just like that, Nanaze had no choice but to tap out. So, Wakana and Yuki Kamifuku actually picked up the win. Next up, we have singles action. We have Ivy Nile versus Miyu Watanabe. Now, we have seen Miyu Watanabe, her capable strength for someone her size. I mean, you guys seen her. She is an incredible athlete. Not gonna lie, she always acts like, she is the strongest of them all, and she has never shied away. But she's facing someone who's a bit more bigger, but have less of experience, which, of course, wouldn't be a problem. But it was Miyu Watanabe with the reverse paradox, a submission move that she's been using since started last year. Well, that never failed her, so she picked up by submission when Ivy Steele had no choice but to tap. So just like that, it was over. Next up, we have women's six-woman tag match. We have Mifu Ashida, Yoshiko Hasegawa, and Moka Miyamoto taking on Shino Suzuki, Imawari, and Zuzumi. So nothing interesting. I don't know exactly any special significance of the match, but it was Zuzumi with the ring the bell onto Ashida, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Next up, we got, of course, Toga and Haru Kazushiro taking on Arisu Endo and Mizuki. Nothing too special, but I had a feeling that this match was going to fall in favor with Arisu Endo and Mizuki due to their experience as wrestlers. And it was, in fact, what's her name? Endo with this thing called the Juno Okite, which is like a submission move. I don't know, not a submission move, more of a move that would put away her opponents. And she did that with Kazushiro, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Next up, we had a very interesting match. Well, Hyper Misao, she was doing a little audition for some sort of thing. And of course, it became a 5-on-1. She was standing alone, taking on Aru Naneko, Mahiro Kiru, Raku, Yuki Aino, and Rika Tatsumi. Well, I can tell you that this match ended with her losing when all 5 ladies pinned her at the same time. And just like that, it was over. But however, during the post-match, I did put this on a news update recently, not the last one, but previously, where Hyper Masao does her produced show, Hype number 3, which of course we haven't heard yet who's going to be participating, and this will take place in June, in case anybody asks. Now, our main event, we have Kaya Toribami taking on Shoko Nakajima. No, Kaya Toribami and Shoko Nakajima taking on our current Princess Tag Team Champions, Maki Ito and Miyu Yamashita. Now, remember, Shoko Nakajima, along with Hyper Misawa, will be challenging for the tag belts against, of course, Maki Ito and, of course, Miyu Yamashita. But, however, this match ended with the Ito Deluxe by Maki Ito to Toribama, and just like that, it was over. So it was a pretty good show, not gonna lie. So I think we are officially done with Tokyo Pro Wrestling. Let's move on with Marigold. Okay, as you know, Marigold just begun a brand new tour, and it just started now, called the Spring Victory Series. Now, this show originally happened on the 1st of March, but it was not broadcast onto Wrestle Universe until the 3rd. But this took place at the Nippon Toto Green Dome in Maebashi Gana in Gunma, which is its prefecture in Japan. Let's start with the start of the entire event. We have Ryoko Sakimura taking on Yuki Minami. Now, these two ladies are practically the rookies of this promotion. I wasn't too sure because I was a bit biased on both of them. But however, Yuki Minami was the one who surprised me the most with, of course, in the last year when she pinned Komomo Minami, who debuted before her. But however, Minami surprised us when she applied a submission onto Sakimura, and just like that, Sakimura had no choice but to tap. Next up, we have Riara versus Nao Ishikawa. Now, before the bell ever rang, well, it appears that Ishikawa was, for some reason, was tied up in chains by Megaton. As you remember, last time Megaton was still pissed with her for what happened back on February 20th. However, luckily Hummingbird, who's still out of action, continued to help out, which she freed Naoshikawa. But how did this affected her in the match against Riara? Well, it did not do anything wrong, but I can tell you that this match did help her to get her confident up when she applied a somewhat underhook pile driver of sorts, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Next up, we have Rhea Seto taking on our current Superfly champion, Victoria Yuzuki. Now, nothing too interesting, but however, if Seto had any decency, she probably would have make up a win against Victoria, against Yuzuki for the Superfly belt, but unfortunately that did not happen. Victoria Yuzuki applied the Tiger Suplex, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it's over. Next up, we got the members of Dark Revolution, Megaton and Chiaki, taking on the former white belt champion, Miku Ano, and of course our current white belt champion, Mai Sakurai. So it's interesting that you got the former and the current together. But however, of course, they had to be more careful when it comes to Darkness Revolution. They tend to cheat their way through in every way possibility. But it was, of course, Ano with the Styles Clash on Megaton, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Next up, we have Chika Goto taking on Passion! That's right, Nane Takahashi. So I wasn't too sure, but I have seen, of course, Chika Goto, how she has grown up and developed. I'm sure Nana Takahashi will take note of that because she always sees the potential in every wrestler who she either faces or teams up with. And I believe she was one of those girls that she might have put up in the present because Nana Takahashi picked up the win when she applied the figure 4 leg lock. And just like that, Chika Koto had no choice but to tap. But of course, like always, we do see in the post-match promo, Nat Takahashi gives her words of wisdom to Chika. Don't know what she said. I don't even know what Chika Goto said, but I'm sure it helped her a lot. Now, our main event, we have the other members of the Darkness Revolution, consisted of Mitsa Matsui, Nagisa Ozaki, and Boza. Excuse me. They take on Natsumi Shozuki and Mirai and Utami Ayashida. Now, remember, Utami Ashida will defend her red belt, the crimson belt, against Bozilla soon enough. But of course, you can treat this as a preliminary match between those two. However, this match ended with Bozilla applying a sit-down powerbomb on Shozuki, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it's over. But Bozilla, as you know, she has her sights set on the MARIGOLD World Championship, or better known as the Crimson Belt. We'll see what happens down the road. Now, there is another show after this one, but they haven't broadcast it on the Wrestle Universe yet. But if I do see it, I'll let you guys know. But for right now, we'll end things here with MARIGOLD and move on with Stardom. Stardom, Nighter, and Korakuen Hall. This is the recent show, and you probably can guess the main event is the one we anticipate, but we'll get to that. So let's begin with our first match. We have, of course, Akira Kurogane teaming up with Aya Sakura, taking on Yuria, him, and Hanako. Now remember, Aya Sakura, along with Yuna Mizumori, will be taking on Hanako and Waka Tsukiyama for the new belt. So you can treat this as, of course, how do I say this? A preliminary match before their next title match for the New Blood Tag Team belts, which obviously we will see. Now, of course, you will see that between Aya Sakura and Hanako, there's been jealousy between, well, with Hanako, how she's been very far behind from Hanako since they were part of the same class. If you guys remember, they debuted back in March of 2023. And of course, in that very year, Aya Sakura was out on action due to injury. So that kind of puts it in the perspective. But however, Aya Sakura was able to pick up the win for her and her teammate with the high kick onto Yuria. And just like that, 1, 2, 3 is over. But of course, we do see now developments not only with Hanako and Aya Sakura, but with Yuria and Akira. Now looks more like they're rivals, aiming for a goal of their own. So we'll see where that goes from there. Our next match, Suzuki teams up with the ladies from CML, Tabata and Yuvia, to take on stars Momokogo, Koguma, and Azuki. Now, of course, there's nothing too special about this match, one way or the other. But it was Yuvia that picked up the win onto Momokogo with the Gory Bomb, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, se acabó. Or should I say in translation, 1, 2, 3, it's over. Next up, we got the members of Hate, Azusa Inaba, Rina, Raka, and Konami taking on the Cosmic Angels, Sayaka Kurara, Yuna Mizumori, Sayuri Anu, and Natsupoi. Now, when it comes to Hate, you guys know their tactics. They don't play by the rules. They like to consider President Okada a douchebag who feels like he is not doing his job right as the president, despite the fact that they're doing a lot of problems. But however, as always, in this entire match, Hate targeted Natsupoi's limpy leg, so that kind of put it into a bullseye. So much of the match has been Natsupoi being hammered, but however, Kurara, I have to say, I give her a lot of praises as she showed her fighting spirit no matter what people were trying to say. I mean, people did speculate that she was going to betray Tam, but she never did. This match could have won, but however, it was Rina with her usual cockiness, or should I say her brattiness, that picked up the win when she applied the Pink Devil, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. However, Natsupoi went to check up on Kurara during the post-match, an assault on Natsupoi, that evil biatch. Konami decided to dismantle Natsupo's leg. And just like that, they used the concerto on it. And just like that, Natsupo was injured. But we did see Sayuri Naanu bleeding out from the face. And now she is extremely pissed that her friend got hurt. So you know that Sayuri Anu will get a bit of payback for that. But for right now, I'm sure the Cosmic Angels are worried and of course concerned, but they will do whatever it takes to protect their Feelers leader, Tam Nakano. Now, our next match, we have the members of Gadzai, Hina, Saki Kashima, and Shuri taking on stars Saya Ida, Hanan, and Mayu Utani. Now, this was a very interesting match. Now, those who know this, Hina graduated from high school and she just accepted to go to university. However, Kashima, who is very, very fond of Hina, like she did with Rina back in the day, decided to get her be praised by a lot of people. Say, hey guys, guess what? Hina just graduated from high school. Let's give her congratulations. So, of course, Hina got the congratulations. But, however, Hanan was there too. But I have to say, Saki Kashima used this moment perfectly. She used Rina as a distraction long enough for Saki Kashima to apply the Kishi Kase on Hanan, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, whew, she didn't even break a sweat. However, you guys know what that means. Ever since Kashima teamed up with Shuri, her biggest goal is to win the tag team belts with, of course, Shuri. And now she has a trumping card. She pinned Hanan. So most likely you can guess, yes, she wants to challenge for those belts. Even Shuri can see that in her. And of course, Hina, maybe she can think, okay, I get what you were trying to do. But not bad. At least we get that. We can actually win the tag team belts. So basically, Sakashima played it pretty well. I don't know what Ami Sodi would think of this because I know she's doing commentary. I'm sure she's proud of Kashima that she used her head for once. So even if it had to use, how to say, Hanan's expense. But who am me to judge? Now, our next match, we have the other members of Hate, Tekla, Momo Watanabe, and Natsuko Tora, taking on EXV's Rian, Waka Tsukiyama, and Maika. Now, of course, when it comes to Hate, you all know their tactics. They like to play dirty. They like to do whatever the hell they want without consequences. However, Tekla was the one that picked up the win onto Rian, and just like that, 1, 2, 3 is over. However, the whole night does not end with a beatdown by Hate. However, Mina Shirakawa is back and handled her business, and you know she has an axe to grind with Tekla. And of course, I'm sure Hate are bitching and complaining and moaning, wishing Mina never came back. Well, Mina's gonna be back with a vengeance, but we will see what happens. Now, our next match, we have a high-speed title match, but in a 2 out of 3 falls. So basically, this is where it gets interesting. First fall goes into May Sira when she applied the Rolling Star. Second fall goes to Fukigen Def when she applied the O'Connor Roll. Now, you all know how that turns out when there's a tie and tie. Anything could go. However, May Sira applied a different tactic instead to pick up the win. She applied like a somewhat of a power bomb type, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, they retained the belts. Now, our next match is the Artists of Stardom Championship. Gadzai, consisting of Rana Yagami, Tomoka Inaba, and Lady C, take on Neo Genesis, Miyu Amasaki, Azumi, and Starlight Kid. Now, remember, it was Lady C who picked up the win against Azumi in a match, and this allowed her to decide, I'm challenging for the Artist belt, and this will be her first attempt on that, teaming up with Tomoka and Yagami. I have to say it was a pretty good one. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, we have seen Lady C has grown significantly. I mean, she joined Queen's Quest by the start of 2022. Now that Queen's Quest is done, she joined God's Eye. She feels like she has grown up even better with God's Eye. But unfortunately, it was not enough when she had to face against her former teammate, Azumi, when she applied the numero uno. And just like that, Lady C had no choice but to tap. However, Azumi did give her props saying that she has grown, but it's not enough for her since Azumi does have the better experience. So we'll see what happens down the road. Now, our main event, this is the one I think many were anticipating how things were going to go. A loser leaves Stardom match. Tam Nakano puts her career on the line against Saya Kamitani, who also would put her career on the line. But however, in this match, you all know the tactics. Saya Kamitani once again decided to play dirty, just like she did when she won the red belt back in Dream Queendom, trying to choke out Tam. Even Cosmic Angels tried to stop Hate from interfering, but once again, the numbers were still too much. You got to remember, Cosmic Angels are only 6 members. 5 of them are outside the ring. As for Hate, there's a bunch of them, like about 9 or so, and 8 of them are in the ring. So it's just way too much and too much to handle. However, of course, Kamitani applied the Star Crusher on a bunch of chairs and ending the career of Tam Nakano. However, Tam Nakano did put up a trumping card. Remember, she does have an opportunity for the world title, and she did say she'll give her one last chance, but this time, Kamitani made it permanently. If she loses, she is forced to retire for good, and she's putting her career on the line as well. So just like that is over. So the real question, what's going to happen now? Some people are speculating that Natsuko may have to step up as the leader since she is second to Tam Nakano. But we will talk about that more. I may put more on this situation once I get information on a separate news update. So stand by for that as well. So for now, we'll end things here and move on with some news updates. Okay, so welcome to our news updates. As always, let's begin with upcoming events with the promotions. Now let's start with GCW updates. Now, as you know, GCW are scheduled to appear in Las Vegas for the collective, and they just announced 2 names to appear in Bloodsport, I believe number 13, and this will happen on the 17th of April. They named Jonathan Gresham and, of course, Natalia Neidhart. That's right, you heard me correctly, boys and girls. Natalia Neidhart will be participating. Now, GCW did announce that they will be making the return to LA at the UCC, and they're naming the show Crazy, Scary, Spooky, Hilarious, and this will happen on May 3rd. So get your calendar set on that. Now, as you know, German promotion WXW will have their upcoming tournament, the 16 karat gold, that will happen 3 days. However, on night 1, they did announce Psycho Clown versus Joseph Fenix Jr. I don't know who he is. That was announced. March 19, RevPro announced a tag team match taking place. We have Stephen Wolf, Leon Cage versus Robbie X, and the current undisputed British Cruiserweight Champion, Will Caven. Now, as you know, we have the Barb Sasaki 25th Anniversary Crazy Fest that will take place on the 10th in Korakuen Hall. They did announce a match for a no disqualification rules TLC match. We have Rina Yamashita taking on Zuzu Suzuki. Now, MLW will have their Battle Riot number 7 taking place on April 5th in LA. 2 more names have been entered to the Battle Royale. We have BRG and someone you know, former WWE superstar Paul London. Prestige Wrestling has announced for the Roseland 11 show that will take place on the 12th of April. We have the Stone Pitbull, Tomohiro Ishii taking on Heavyweight Hustle, Calvin Tankman. And then finally, as you know, I decided to save this one for last. As you probably know, we are in the month of March. It's Cinderella Tournament time. So they did announce the Cinderella Tournament will take place between the 8th and the 15th of March. So it's not back to back. Now, I want to make this clear. The Cinderella Tournament is not a round-robin tournament. It's a single elimination tournament, just to put it clear. Now, I will get more information on that soon. But they did announce who will be participating in this tournament. So let me pull it up for all of you. And to make it clear, some of the heavy hitters will not be participating in this one. So here who are participating. We have, of course, the rookies Yuria Him, Akari Kodogane, Rian, Rana Yagami, Sayaka Kurara, Hanako, Aya Sakura, Miyu Misaki, Lady C, Hina, Rina, Raka, and coming from CML, Tabata. From GTO, we got the Inaba sisters, Azusa Inaba and Tomoka Inaba, and of course, last year's winner, Hanan. Now, I know some of you are predicting who's going to win this one, but someone pointed out a very interesting thing that kind of that happened a couple of days ago. Someone said this: if Sayaka Kurara wins the tournament, it wouldn't be surprising if she wished for Tam Nakano to win to return, because remember, if you win the Cinderella tournament, you can wish anything. Mostly it's been belts, but we could see something like that happen if that ever happened. But just pointed it out there for all of you. So that's pretty much what's going on with upcoming events with the promotions. Let's start with some developments. You may have already heard that Rey Fenix is now a free agent. He is no longer with AEW. So practically, he will be making his way to WWE. It's been foretold by Fightful Select that there's been some creative plans are being coming up as we speak. So we'll see when that day comes when Rey Fenix makes his debut. So we most likely see the Lucha Brothers actually team up. Sonya Deville, as you know, she was recently released from WWE. Wrestling Observer just revealed that she may be decide to consider returning to MMA, which is not a problem. I mean, we know she has done MMA in the past, so I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Wrestling Observer also revealed that Homicide will most likely have his retirement match in this month of March. So it's still unclear when or where or who will be his opponent. So we'll see what happens. Fightful Select reports that Skye Blue is not clear to return to the ring, but we have seen she has been making appearances in the backstage area, but not participating in any way possible. So we'll see what happens. I hope she does come back to return. Now, for some interesting developments, veteran Yuki Miyazaki has announced that she'll be retiring in Korakuen Hall on January 1st. Yeah, so she made this announcement during this past weekend in a Pro Wrestling Wave event, and this is what she posted out. I, Yuki Yamasaki, will retiring on New Year's Day 2026. I've already made that decision, so I would like to go ahead with it. I have retired once in return, but I will not returning again. I would like to retire properly and firmly. So she kind of dropped this bombshell during the Wave event, but she said that she has retired before and came back, but now she's saying this time is for real, that she is done. So, yeah, I understand that. Now, recently after that, there was some stuff that Tam Nakano, as you know, lost the loser leaves match, and she's devastated. And she's had some things to say about, of course, that she has no intentions of wrestling in other promotions other than Stardom. And this is what she said. Of course, I thought that if I lost today, I would disappear from Stardom. But to be honest, I don't have even 1% intention of wrestling anywhere other than Stardom. Even if WWE asked me to sign a contract for 2.5 billion yen, I wouldn't go. I dedicated everything to wrestling in Stardom. So the only thing left for me is to retire. So basically, she has no intentions of going to WWE. She wants to remain with Stardom, but now that things are not going so well, she even talked about, of course, things that she hasn't done before, and this is what she said. I'm worried about Kurara and Sakura, and I promised to hold the red belt for a third time, and I haven't worn the IWGP Women's belt either. I also promised Julia that I would hold the Tokyo Dome show with Stardom, and I would make Stardom #1 in the world. I can't retire. I'm a woman who keeps her promises. So there's that. And she even talked about, of course, drawing 1,000 people at the Yokohama Arena. That it was the same place. And this, I think we'll talk about a little bit about this part. This is what she said. It's a credible sight. I'm going to draw 10,000 people and show them Tam is making Kamitani cry. After that, the true incession of Tam Nakano comes out. When she's thrown into hell, I won't give up. Now, those who know this is the same event where Tam Nakano defeated Julia about almost a year ago or so, and she won the red belt. Somebody pointed out that what if Tam does it again? She was in the middle of despair to face Julia for the red belt, and she finally did it. Could we see something like this happen again? Tam has been in the world of despair in the past before, but if she pulls it off, I give her hands down. You know what she's gonna do. Now, our final development here of our news updates is ring announcer for Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, Sayuri Namba. Well, she just went on and mentioned this. She had this to announce. And bear with me, boys and girls. As I previously announced, I will be graduating from my role as ring announcer from the Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling at the end of June. After that, I'm thinking of taking on a challenge of living overseas. I ask for your continuing to support for the remaining 3 months. I want to make a lot of memories. Now, this was a very huge thing to hear. I mean, she's an incredible ring announcer, not gonna lie. She is really fun. I love her voice. But she even said this, that she even revealed that she'll be moving to Vancouver, Canada. So, yeah, that's where she's gonna go. So, if there's more information coming about her, I'll let you guys know of anything else. But it would be sad to see her go. She's irreplaceable, and I'm hopefully Tokyo Super Wrestling finds a much stronger ring announcer than she was, and we'll see what happens. So let's just enjoy the last 3 months of her. So, and I think that's pretty much it what we have. So let's just call it a day. All right. I hope everybody enjoys this episode. Coming up, as you probably know, we'll have NXT to review, and also just recently just found out Baka Gaijin and Friends have volume number 20, so I'll probably be doing that. I haven't decided if there's any other ones I want to review, but we'll see how things will go. But NXT is the top priority for all of you. If there's anything else, there's that. Now, I will continue to follow up on Sayuri Namba's supposed graduation. Now, I did fail to mention to all of you, graduation doesn't mean she's retiring. That means that she is no longer going to be part of the promotion. But if there's anything else about her, I will be in fact learning. And if there's anything more about Tam Nakano, since losing the match to Kamitani, we'll just have to wait and see from here on out. But for now, we'll leave things as it is, and I will see you guys in the next DWZ time. Same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye. Mwah. And have a nice day. Bang.